Welcome back to the Bunkhouse. I'd like for you folks to meet a very dear friend of mine who plays a major role in the food services in West Texas, especially at Buffalo Gap, Texas, at the Perini Ranch Steakhouse. And Tom has catered all over the world, and he's very well known for his products and the way he cooks it, and for being just a grand guy. Tom, thank you so much for joining us.
That was pretty fancy. I appreciate that.
You know, you have cooked for people all over the world, but there was one special day in your life, and I've heard you tell this story, and I want you to tell the folks about the day at the White House. One specific day at the White House.
I will tell you. And I started cooking for Governor Bush in '95, and this had built and built, and when he ran for president, I'd always thought, gosh, boy, if he became president, maybe I could cook at the White House. That's just one of those kind of fantasies that you think about.
Sure.
And when he was elected, and one day we got that call. And this was to do the congressional picnic. And this was for, the congressional picnic is for all of Congress, the judicial, everybody, 1,400 people. And this was his first big Texas party, and I really wanted to make this right. And when he called, I was thrilled. And we went up and talked to him and had a pre-meeting with him. And one of the things, I needed about 20 people to help pull this off. And they said, well, we can get some people from up there and get cowboy hats and stuff. And I said, no. I said, I want people that know how to wear a cowboy hat. You know, you can tell real quick the ones that know how to wear them and the ones that don't. And they agreed to that. And so we worked all of our details out. We served Texas beef, and in one of our early meetings, they had the White House chef had, after I told him what I was going to fix, he said, well, you know, in Washington, we need to fix chicken. And I will tell you, the room went deathly quiet, and my wife Lisa just about got up because she said, this is it, you know, we're in trouble. And I said, no, sir. I won't fix chicken. I said, I'm beef, and that's what's brought me to the table, and or the dance, and that's what we're going to fix. And we, of course, ended up doing that. We did fix fried catfish, but I didn't feel like chicken was appropriate for what we were doing. But in doing this, we wanted to set up real chuck wagons on the South Lawn, and so this was in September, and we drove all of our crew up. And we had 2 trucks and 2 chuck wagons and all of our flies and tents and mesquite wood and big barbecue pits and everything. And they wanted us to come up and set up on Sunday. And that was Sunday the 9th. And we got all of our equipment and everybody was excited. And we set up on Sunday. And that evening we went back to our hotel and I got our group together in one meeting. And I said, all right, guys, you've got to be careful because with cowboy hats and boots in Washington and a brand new president from Texas, the press is going to be looking for you. And I said, just be careful what you say, and remember, they want you to mess up, and just be careful. And so, well, they all laughed, and we went on our way. And the next morning, on the 10th, we went over, and part of the crew cooked in the White House kitchens. The rest of us went ahead and set up the flies and got the pits ready and started getting everything ready for the next day. And, you know, serving that many people, Red, you have to, the tenders had to be trimmed and the catfish cut and the salads made and all this kind of thing, just in preparation for the next day. And so we worked all day in the White House kitchens, and this was on the 10th of September. And so that night we got together and we were going to meet at 9 o'clock in the morning. Now, of course, you realize that this in the morning is September the 11th of '01. And we had a news crew that was going to come out and actually do a documentary on us. When you cook for the president, you can't discuss anything that you're doing in advance. This has to be very secret, and there are reasons why. But you can't talk about it. Even a lot of our crew didn't know what we were going to do. But this news crew was going to come in and film us, going on the basis it was going to be a slow news day. Well, I'm watching CNN on the morning of September the 11th. And all of a sudden, I see smoke out of the one tower, and they thought a small plane had flown into it. And I kept watching, and as the morning progressed, then I saw the second plane fly into the second tower. Well, I turned to Lisa at that point and said, we're not doing this party tonight. There's something really gone wrong, and I don't know what it is, but we're not going to be catering this party. Well, I had some of our crew that was actually on the south lawn of the White House waiting for us. And because I was watching TV at that point, and they said that all of a sudden everybody ran out of the White House. I mean, they had these were cooks and everybody, secretaries, the florists, everybody, and they were running out. And our people said, "What's wrong?" And they said, "Run," and they did. And the third plane flew into the Pentagon. And they really thought that was going to the White House. Well, at that point, our crew all came back. I was being real brave. I told them, I said, "All right, guys, take your boots and hats off, put on your tennis shoes." I said, "Go in your mini bars and stuff." I said, "Clean all that food or whatever out," because I didn't know if we were going to be able to eat or drink or anything. And, at that point, there were no buses, no trains, no rent cars, no planes. I mean, we were stuck in Washington, D.C. I looked out of the window that morning, and it was probably 10 o'clock in an old hotel, and I raised the window, and it was a beautiful, clear day, and we could see the glint on the F-16s and hear the fire engines and everything that was happening, and people were walking out of town very orderly. But that was a situation we did go back the next year and cater that party. But it was a situation that of course we will never forget, or the world will never forget.
And you took that food over to the Pentagon, didn't you?
Well, the White House called, said, "What do we do?" And I said, "You tell me what to do." And they said they wanted all the food, and they fed all the firemen at the Pentagon and the Secret Service. So it was quite an experience.
Unbelievable experience. And if folks want to find you today, they can go to Buffalo Gap, Texas, to Perini Ranch Steakhouse.
Absolutely.
And have the finest meal they can have anywhere on the face of this earth. And you also have a order business.
We have a mail order business, and we do simple Texas food that's good.
You better believe it's good. Tom, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
It's always great to be with you.
It's a pleasure.
And I'll see you at the steakhouse.
Well, come on.